So we're going to take a little stroll and you're gonna come with us. One of the things that is so amazing about our library here is that they have so many incredibly powerful exhibitions right here in Delray Beach.
Yes.
And we are standing in front of Americans and the Holocaust exhibition here at the Public Library. And I believe this was the first stop of its tour. So that's pretty cool that we are getting to have this here first in Delray Beach.
All right, and it's very interactive too. They have a little station here, and it gives you a lot of facts and everything about the Holocaust. I mean, I had a conversation with Miss Yvonne Odom and then Lee Cohen's mom. So here I am, have a elderly Jewish lady and an elderly black woman, and they sat down at a table. We were filming one of the episodes of Let's Try It. And they sat and they talked about the Holocaust, and then we talked about slavery here in the United States and the similarities and everything of that sort. It was a powerful conversation, and I was like, man, somebody need to capture this on video, because there was so many things about the Holocaust that I didn't know about. Sitting there learning. I mean, I remember in high school we read the Diary of Anne Frank. And then I had we watched Schindler's List, those movies, but that was just my interaction with the Holocaust and things that I knew. But since then, I mean, I never really had anybody really one-on-one to really teach me about it.
And I think it's such an important thing to have, especially at a place like a library, because so many different people come here, so many different people can learn about this really, really important part of history. And I think it's really amazing just the way that it has done. Like, you literally get to walk through and see life-size photos and read information about different people. And it really, it gives you chills, and it really brings it to life in such a way that even a book can't necessarily make happen.
I mean, so when you talk about the creative things, and I sit here and say, you know what, this is very creative to turn your library almost into a museum type feel. So this was a very out of the box thinking. I love it.
I agree. So we have 3 different guests that are going to join us to talk about this important exhibition. So we have Isabella Rowan, the Educational Programs and Volunteer Coordinator at the Delray Beach Public Library. Hi.
Hi.
We have Rabbi Aviva Bass, Temple Sinai, and Helene Wartel, the librarian at the Jewish Library at Temple Sinai, and Daughters of the Holocaust Survivors. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are just so happy to have the 3 of you here and talking about such an important thing. And when I came to the opening of it, I didn't know what to expect. And this was, exceeded expectations with just the presentation and the information.
So how did this come about?
Yes. So the exhibit, it's 1,100 square feet, interactive traveling exhibition. And it offers, it draws on primary sources from the 1930s and 40s to present the stories of individuals and groups of Americans who took action against Nazism. So it is a grant. It was provided by the museum and the American Library Association. There were 250 applicants. Only 50 were awarded. We are very honored to be one.
Wow, that's a huge honor.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Delray, baby.
Seriously though, out of all of those people to be selected, that really speaks to what you are all doing here.
Exactly.
So walk us through it real quick. Walk us through this exhibit. Tell everybody, make them really want to come and see.
Because they need to. You need to come. Yes. Well, how long is it up until first?
So the exhibit is on display here in the library until November 17th.
Oh, so you don't have that much time.
No, we're midway through the programming and exhibit calendar, and in fact, we've already offered many programs in conjunction with the exhibit, and there's many more coming for all ages. And I encourage people to take a look at our calendar to see what's coming up. And the exhibit is free. It's open to the public anytime the library is open, right? Okay. So, the library is open Monday through Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., Thursday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and Sunday from 1 to 5.
Perfect.
So what is the one part of this exhibit that really sticks out to you? I know all of it is very powerful, and it takes a deep dive into history, but what's that one part that really sticks out? I'll put you on the spot.
That wasn't in my script.
Janelle, stop that. That was a great question, though.
Well, for me personally, as someone who is not Jewish and doesn't really know that much about the Holocaust, you often think there's like this misconception that Americans didn't know anything and didn't do anything. Like it happened over there, what did we do here? And this really opens your eyes and completely shatters those misconceptions about what Americans actually knew and what we were doing. And for that reason alone, to take a look at that aspect of American history and who we are as a country and what we were doing then is really important to come and see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how about the two of you? Do you have something that sticks out to you as being the most important part?
I think I would go with Isabella because I'm very familiar with Holocaust history through my parents, who were both survivors. Wow. And I've done a lot of reading, and I've always known that the events of the Holocaust were known at the time. And the frustrating part for me has always been how little was done. And it's wonderful to see in this exhibit that in fact many things were done. There were people who made the effort to publicize and to actually go over to Europe and bring Jews out and arrange for it. They raised funds and they really did an enormous amount of work to accomplish that end, but it wasn't enough.
So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that especially in today's climate where there's so much polarization of people in our society based on politics, based on race, based on all sorts of external factors, to be able to educate people about one people's experience, negative, horrendous experience, is also about universal compassion.
Right.
It's about understanding the other, not labeling people as other, understanding the humanity that we all share, and also being proud of who each group is. I prefer the idea of America as a salad bowl rather than the idea of a melting pot. I don't want to be melted down and forgotten for my people, and I don't think other people should either. But I think there's a pride that comes from that, but there's also a compassion to understand, yes, this is what we went through as oppressed people, and we can make that connection with other people who are similarly oppressed, and also make sure that this never happens again. Nothing like this should ever happen again. So we need to combat hate with love and education.
Yes,
education is really important.
And I think that's one of the most important things too when you start talking about this. Is just like learning about your history it'll really help you not be able to, really when you feel yourself repeating it, you'll snap back to it. So I think this is really great. I think the one thing that's missing from this exhibit is some gefilte fish.
I disagree strongly. I will bring you a jar next week. You got it.
So,
I will bring you some.
So I don't know if I had the opportunity to taste some Rabbi Shmuley. He made some at his house for me. He gave me a lot of history about gefilte fish and what Jews did to really make it and how it really had to stretch out. And I tasted it. I loved it.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
You did. I don't love it.
Yes,
I don't.
you can have my portion.
Yep.
But
Well, you know
mine
what?
also.
And then it was
pass that to you.
also it was it was bread. What is it?
Matzah?
The matzah or challah?
Challah.
Challah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was trying to say.
Any day of the week. If you pick a gefilte fish, give me.
I loved it. And no, it wasn't in a jar. It was homemade.
Okay, maybe that's different.
It was homemade.
We always had it in a jar.
It was like it was meatloaf, but made from with fish.
Okay, that's an interesting.
I don't know if that's right, but it tastes good to me.
Yeah,
I'll try it again.
It especially needs some really strong horseradish.
Yes.
Homemade.
You know what? Hold on. This I gotta say
He
this.
just likes to eat.
No, how is it? Listen, me as a black man, yes, I'm black, right? So, but I eat gefilte fish, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, this is a Jewish delicacy. And then every Jewish person I meet, oh my gosh, you ate that?
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up, is this a food of your culture or what?
Yeah.
Nobody likes it.
It's the tradition behind it. It's the tradition behind it, I think. more than they like the particular food. I mean, I have to say though, my husband does like it also.
Yeah.
Like I always give it to him.
Like
My husband does actually like it.
I ate it. I thought Mitch Katz was going to accept it into the Jewish family, but no, he didn't at all. Whatsoever.
So we want to talk a little bit about your temple as well, because I think for everybody who wants to get to know about Jewish culture more, your temple is a great place for people to come and learn and worship. So can you tell everybody a little bit about?
Well, Temple Sinai of Palm Beach County in Delray Beach is really a spiritual center in Delray. I'm very proud to be affiliated with and serving such a wonderful congregation. And as a Reformed congregation, we share the progressive values of acceptance and wide open tent, which means that Jews from all different backgrounds, as well as non-Jews who are friendly with Jews, intermarried to Jews, or even just curious about Judaism, are welcome to come in. We often have interfaith dialogue as well with other clergy in the community and with other lay people, and we're very proud of those relationships that we've built over many years, way before I started there. I've been there 6 years, but the temple's been there for over 40 years now. We just had our 40th birthday. So so it's a wonderful center of spirituality, and we welcome people of all different backgrounds to come.
And where you guys are located? So you can talk about where you're located and if they want to get in contact with you. How can they
Sure.
contact you?
Just down the street from here. Come to the library, see this wonderful exhibit, and then come over to the temple. Temple Sinai is just next door to the Atlantic High School.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So it's a little bit west of Congress, Congress Avenue on Atlantic Avenue. So please come visit us. We have services on Friday nights at 7:30. We're now restarting our Saturday morning services as well. And we always have Torah study, which is on Zoom. And we have a hybrid service, which means that now we live stream. Similar to what we're doing
So
here.
for people who are uncomfortable, they can still participate, which is huge.
Exactly, which
That's
is wonderful
amazing.
also for people who are, for whatever reason, they're stuck at home or even in the hospital. I've had congregants or friends of this synagogue who've said, oh wow, this really helped me through my recuperation from whatever illness or
That's
problem that
amazing.
they've had, to watch the services.
Because it's one thing to have your faith and be praying on your own, but to be able to still participate in a place that you go and helps you feel part of something, I think is really, it's amazing that you're able to do that. I mean, I think that's one of the positive things that have come out of COVID is people can connect in a way that they couldn't before and be able to still participate even if they can't leave their home. So I think that's great. And I have to say, I love, my husband's Jewish, I'm Catholic. So it is, it's always been interesting because there aren't a lot of places that are welcoming of all faiths. So I think that's really incredible that you're doing that for people like us who come from two different places and love each other and want to celebrate and share love and be welcome.
I like it. I'll definitely stay in contact with you because I would love to introduce this exhibit to the young men on the football team
Oh
at
my
the high
gosh,
school.
that would be huge.
Because I guarantee they probably don't know anything about the Holocaust.
That would be great.
And then just have a conversation or a dialogue with them as well.
Absolutely.
So I'll definitely be in contact.
So I'm happy to walk them through it or to sit and have a question and answer. I do also want to say that I'm very proud of the interrelationships that our congregation have formed with the Delray Beach and larger community, including with homeless, hungry and homeless people in the community with our social action program. And I'm very proud that during the pandemic even, people were continuing to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are distributed to homeless people in Veterans Park every week, every Sunday.
amazing.
So we do really value these interrelationships, and to have this exhibit right here down the street is just a fabulous way to connect. And as Isabella said, it's wonderful not just for Jews, but perhaps even more so for the non-Jews in the community to understand.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so for you especially, this definitely is very personal.
Yes.
Is there, how do you feel about, I mean, I know you spoke a little earlier, but about being able to share what's happened in this country in regards to the Holocaust? Because like you said, you didn't realize how much was being done, but not enough. So how do you feel, and when you walked in the first time, I guess, how did you feel coming to see this?
First of all, I was very impressed with the depth of this exhibit. I think it's very well done, very well organized, and very approachable. And I think that makes a big difference.
For sure.
For me personally, having a pretty good background in Holocaust education, I think education is the first step, but it's not the last step. And activism is what needs to happen as a result of education. And one of the things I'm very proud of in terms of being in a Reform congregation is that the Union for Reform Judaism, thank you, the URJ, is very active in the movement for voting rights and for civil rights, and has been all these years. And I think that that's where this needs to take us. We can't undo the Holocaust, but we do need to make sure that it doesn't happen to us and to other groups in this country as well, or around the world.
If I can just say one thing about what they're talking about, you know, we have a number of programs that are being presented in conjunction with the exhibit. But tonight, we have a special program, and there's still space. We're presenting at 7 o'clock a Survivor Speaks, and people don't realize that the number of living Holocaust survivors is diminishing by the day as we speak, right? And so this is a really unique opportunity to come in and meet up close and personal a living Holocaust survivor who's going to share his story of survival and triumph. It's an amazing opportunity, and one of, you know, he's one of the few remaining living survivors who went through it. And he'll be here tonight at 7 o'clock. It's right here in our auditorium. It's free. You're welcome to come.
Do you have to sign up, or you could just come?
Well, I prefer that people pre-register, but just come, because this is just too important to really hear a personal testimony of what happened.
Is this Norman Fraser?
This is Norman
He's
Fraser.
a very good
He's
speaker.
wonderful.
He is
Yes.
wonderful.
And
I
very
think you will
moving.
really
Very moving.
find it very interesting.
So I encourage everyone to come and to check out all of the other programs that we have coming before the end of the exhibit period as well.
And do they just go to the library website?
Go to the library website, delraylibrary.org, click on classes and programs, and there they are. Yes.
Thank you guys
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we
Thank you
are
for having
so
us.
proud to have this here in our community.
Yes.
One of the few who get something like this. And thank you for all that you're doing in our
Thank
community.
you. Thank you for having us.
Thank
Thank you so